Hello everyone, Dr. Stephen James here to bring you another GTA Online video. Sorry, this video took a long time to make and upload, but finally here. And with all that being said, let's get straight into this. Picking up from where we left off for what seems like several months ago, but turns out has only been a few. I head back to my auto shop garage because in the previous video I thought I still had a car to modify and sell, but since I loaded into a new session, it despawned. Therefore, the opportunity is no longer available. I figured since I was already here, I might start a contract series. The problem is, I didn't know which ones I've already completed. So, that is where I will probably be skipping quite a few things if it turns out that I've already done it. I kind of skipped over the briefing, but apparently I am going to the Palmer Taylor Power Station to follow some guy back to his place in order to find the location of a safe house. Again, I kind of skipped the briefing in case I didn't mention that already. Did I say car? Because I meant to say Swift helicopter. And if I said safe house, which I know I did, I should have said bunker. I mean, the name of the mission is like safe house work or something like that, but you know, whatever. I guess we'll be getting to that next. And since I've done this one before, I'm probably just gonna skip over most of it. But on the way back to the city limits, there is a special vehicle that came out that I needed to steal. And that is what I'm doing now. I really don't think it's the smartest idea to bring a stolen special weapon to my personally owned auto shop, but whatever. It is just a game. And it's not like GTA has ever really sold the idea of how we should have gotten away with any of the crimes committed in this game's lifespan. Anyway, I figured it was about time I sold this old-ass car that I don't even remember stealing off the street. Must have happened a really long time ago. But yeah, I take it out, set a waypoint to an auto body shop, and I pocket a modest $1,000. Now with that being said and done, I am now stranded without a vehicle, so I set my waypoint to my nearest safe house to 1, change out of the clothes I'm currently wearing, and 2, to find a personally owned vehicle provided any of them are good enough to take out. Turns out none of the vehicles in that garage really suited me, I guess. I actually never really checked my garage, as it turns out, in the gameplay. Plus, I mean, I guess I kind of figured that whatever vehicle I chose would probably despawn once I entered the building I'm going to, which is a stash house, to see what I can obtain. Anyway, while I take a leisurely stroll to steal some product from a gang, I need to address the elephant in the room. I went on a bit of a hiatus with this series, and it's for good reason. Like, this past week, would have been good, but I had to film my 100 subscriber special. So stay tuned for that, as I will be releasing a trailer for that by the end of the week of this video's upload. And for another, the other reason why this video is taking so long is because that lady, I guess, gave me a dirty look and/or was being rude. So I pimp slapped the shit out of her, knock her out, and take what she had on her, which it didn't look like she had anything. But anyway, the week before that, I downloaded a game that was free with my PlayStation Plus subscription called FNAF Security Breach, which is a game I'm really glad I got the chance to play. A game that would have cost, I think it was $40. It was either $40 or $50, but I'm glad I got the chance to play it for free. I underestimated how long it would take, though, and I like to finish what I've started before switching gears to a new project. So that's why my excuse, so that was my excuse for the week before. But all the other weeks, I guess I was just procrastinating because it's not very fun scrolling through a ton of disorganized video clips. So that's my excuse for that. But anyway, I make my way to the safe house finally, take out the members of the Lost MC, and find the code for the safe. After losing the heat from the Lost MC, it turns out that I stole a weapon cache, which means me going all the way up to Blaine County in order to go sell the product I currently have. But before that, I set my waypoint over to G's stash because apparently that is also within the area. Not really sure which one of G's guys is hiding the loot, but I hope G is paying them well for hiding all these stashes in such industrial locations without being spotted. Gotta give him props for that. But anyway, with that done, I can finally now make my way to the bunker. One sexy cinematic shot of me entering the bunker coming right up. Since it pays more, of course, I opt to sell my guns into the city. Sorry, there is a moped going on outside. It can't be done. I am not going to bother reshooting this narration over one brief moment of a motor running. But anyway, since this is a delivery scenario in which I have already done in a previous video, one where I get to drive a trunk with a sharp battering ramp, I'm probably not going to show much of this sequence. Not really sure how it's smart to have the pickup location for the weapons be at an airport where the security is definitely on me. Surprised it's not a 2-star wanted level. But anyway, with that being done, I pocket a cool 52.5 grand. For my next order of business, I decide to head to my office and and collect my savings from the safe. Before I head over to my safe, I wanted to see if I could interact with Chopper, give him a little pet, but for whatever reason the game wasn't letting me. So I eventually give up and just head straight to my office. I make my way over to the safe and collect 2.5 grand. Pretty modest, but every little bit helps, I guess. I think the next time I think it's gonna be a while before I head to my safe again, because I think this is the point where I decide that it would be best to let the contents in the safe build up. Before heading to the elevator, I decide to check out the view from the main office floor. With that out of the way, I can now head to my nightclub, collect the contents of my safe from that, and possibly do some work or assign my research team to a new subject at hand. After collecting my 6 grand worth of cash, I opt to sell my counterfeit cash goods, since the warehouse occupancy for that is already maximized. For whatever reason, the locations for the buyers are not readily available to me, so I have to do some hacking in order to find the locations. Admittedly, as you can see from the gameplay, it takes me more tries than it should, but I got there in the end. The final of 3 deliveries takes me all the way up to Grapeseed. Of course, I think to myself I might as well head to my arcade and collect the contents from that safe before I head back to the city, or call it a day. But I won't be calling it a day, because while editing this video, since I've been on such a long hiatus, I decided to actually turn this into a 2-parter, meaning 2 days worth of content in the same video. Just as I'm about to enter my arcade, I see a store being robbed, so I decide to do my good deed for the day and do a selfless act of shooting a man in the back of the head to grab the stuff he stole and take it back. And once again, the flaw of video game logic they pay me quadruple the amount of the stuff was probably worth, but hey, I'm not complaining. If you think Joe Biden's economy is terrible, let's put it this way. In this game, having 900 grand is considered being broke in this game's economy. By the way, when I fired my gun, I noticed 2 civilians running away in terror within the direction that the bullets fired. Boy, Americans are really spoiled. They wouldn't last 1 day in Afghanistan. But anyway, after collecting over 11 grand from my safe, it's time to move on to day 2. In case you don't remember, or if you missed my previous upload, my previous GTA related upload, I should say, I purchased a submarine and can therefore now do the Cayo Perico heist. But before then, I decide to screw around a little, do some adversary mode. This one is called Rhino Hunt. Yeah, I definitely feel like I ruined it for both of us there. Sorry, dude. Anyway, I won't waste time with that, but the gist of it is I lost both rounds, and yet still got away with 3 job points. 13 out of 15 job points. I definitely kind of feel like I got overpaid for that abysmal performance, but hey, I'm not complaining. Shout out to these guys for playing with me. And of course, since I just logged in for the day, it spawns me into a public lobby. But I figure, what's the worst that could happen? Answer: I am unable to register as a boss. But I need to do that in order to play, so I decided, screw it, I'll just do a private lobby like I always do. Or actually, scratch that, not a private lobby, rather a new public session in hopes that I'll get lucky this time. Why would I do that instead of just joining a public session? I don't know, I guess I just wasn't sure if I wanted to do it with anyone or not yet, so that's why I did it. Fortunately, this time I'm able to register as Motorcycle Club President, and with that being done, we can finally get started on the setup process. Right after I find my way back to the bridge, because either I am just too mentally challenged to find it, or this submarine's layout is like a labyrinth. Anyway, after Pavel or Parcel's briefing, I can finally start up the setup, and I decide that the best place to start is stealing a boat. But by the way, while obtaining the footage, I decide to go to the PlayStation Store and see if the Black Ops 6 beta is still available. And as you can see from the email, it's been downloaded. Subscribe if yeah, I'm gonna dedicate a video to playing that at some point. So subscribe if you want to see that. And of course, why wouldn't the boat be so far away? It'd be too easy otherwise. Pro tip, if you're gonna buy a submarine, you should definitely spring for the helicopter and boat bonus, whatever they were. I was too broke to buy it. I didn't realize how vital they would be. One long swim and a drive later, I make my way to the Alamo Sea shoreline and take out the people who would stand in my way, except the guy who pulls out of the boat just as I'm about ready to take it. And thus, a boat chase ensues. I shoot the driver, board the boat, remove the dead guy's carcass. It would have been pretty cool if threw it overboard, but even though I don't see it on screen right now, it looks like she just put him on this back of the boat. Yeah, I swear this boat was faster when that other guy was driving it. Why is that? I noticed there's a gun on the back, and I I now see why doing this with another person could have been beneficial. I will admit, my free aim accuracy may not be the best, but I do enough damage to a helicopter so that it downs. It doesn't have a fiery explosion, but I thought it looked kind of cool. The angle on the last helicopter is a bit tough, but I've already done enough damage to it to the point where it also downs in front of me. Like, literally right in front, right next to me. It was a bit close for comfort, but I knew now that I've downed 2 birds, 2 more are sure to pop up. And I hate it when I'm right. Between the 2 helicopters and the ground forces, they took all the health out of me just as I was about to replenish it with snacks. Since I'm now grounded anyway, I tried to take out one of the choppers with RPG rockets instead of homing missiles for some reason, but it didn't work and I get gunned down while looking up in the sky. I respawn, of course, try taking them out with an AK-74U or whatever the civilian equivalent to that is. But even though I take out the gunners, I did not shoot the pilots this time, knowing that they would respawn. And after I do that, I get gunned down on the road once again. I head back to my boat, decide for a moment to shoot out one of the other gunners, and then I think, screw this, let's just get to the ocean. Tired and beaten, bloody, but triumphant, I finally bring the heist boat to the dock. And it is at this moment that I decide to switch to a private session now that I am confident that I can do all these setups by myself. Since I am in a new session, that means there are new opportunities to raid stash houses. So I set my waypoint to one of them, jack a red Mustang, or just muscle car. It's not a Mustang, so I don't know why I said that. And I am on my way. The angle on these guys is quite a bit tougher, but in time, I make good work of them too. After seeing if I can collect any loot from these people and getting one nice booty shot, I find the code for the safe and crack it open, and GTFO. Making sure the Vengeful's hillbillies are dead on arrival. Although these are probably the least hillbilly keepers I've ever seen. Once I take care of them, I steal one of their sick rides. Just listen to those hydraulics. One of the most beautiful sounds I have ever heard. Anyway, since the supplies from the stash house turned out to be for the weed farm, I make my way over there next and sell what I have to make room for the new product. And what a frustrating delivery it was. I don't know why the game forces you to be on a high trip, as if Stephanie cannot say no to getting high. But anyway, we get the law on us a couple times. Fortunately, it was somehow easy enough to lose them because the law in this game are stupid, and it's made this way so that the players can have more fun and not have such a difficult time. Not that it made this delivery any less annoying. I genuinely can't tell whether it's because if that bad turn was induced by the drugs in my system or the fact that I'm just really uncoordinated. Isn't that amusing? Not what I would call a valid parking spot, but that is where the game wants me to park. And as I recover from the high trip, again, why is Stephanie drinking when she's driving? I swear, I am not in any way an irresponsible drinker. One, never even been that drunk. And two, I've certainly never been in the driver's seat of a car while drunk. Anyway, I used the game's menu to spawn a dinghy to make my way back to the submarine so that I can do the next objective, the next setup mission, which is to get the safe code from some guy having a party at the Diamond Casino. After riding the dinghy inland until I can go no further get no closer by boat, I go the rest of the way on foot to the casino. Before I head up to the penthouse floor, I decide I want to see if I can spin the wheel, and on mission, and unfortunately I cannot. So I just make my way over to the elevator. While finding the doorway to the penthouse, I stumble upon a lounge area with vending machines. I notice I only have half my health, so I try to purchase a soda, but unfortunately I am unable to do that either. But some guards are outside the penthouse, and I need to kill them. Or knock them out, but I opt to shoot them since they're gonna shoot at me anyway. After leaving a trail of bodies in my wake, I loot my target to get the safe code, and I'm faced with the ethical dilemma of shooting of whether or not I'm going to shoot civilians. And even though I do fire a round for a moment and miss, because it's a misfire, I decide to show a bit of restraint. I think my mommy and daddy would be so proud of me not shooting innocent people. Although I think friendly fire mode was on for the civilians, but let's pretend that I've showed restraint. Since there are sure to be guards waiting for me by the elevator, I equip a shotgun to make good work of them. I take out 3 guards and board the elevator. I'm not really sure that elevator leads to straight outside, but I'm not complaining. Taken a lot of bullet holes, made a lot of tough decisions, but with my own 2 legs, my will to survive, and with my ability to evade the cops like any ninja could evade anyone, I make my way back to the dinghy undetected. But on my way to the submarine to prep for the final heist setup for the day, something catches my attention. It is a dead person to the point of decaying, holding a treasure map for the heist that I'm preparing for. Anywho, getting back to the business at hand, I decide it is a good time to grab the unmarked weapons. I take the dinghy as close as I can to the docks near Merryweather's HQ to follow a Valkyrie plane making its way to a Merryweather training camp in Grapeseed. I find out where they're training and try to drop every single one of them before entering the plane. But in retrospect, it would have been smart of me to use the drain as cover, like in the dying art of trench warfare. Thought that would have been pretty interesting, but it's all tunnel warfare these days. And of course, because I didn't, I failed the first attempt, but I will not fail this time. I will use the magic of editing to spawn myself inside the plane. There we go. And now time to find the supplies and take out anyone in my way. I have found the weapons. Only problem was the plane has already taken off. Except it's not a problem because I am a badass. After collecting a parachute, I hop out of the plane. Now, I aim it in the direction of the submarine, try to take it as close as I can, but not close enough, so I needed a vehicle to make it the rest of the way. Ran into a little bit of trouble trying to get back to Vespucci Beach, but it wasn't anything I couldn't handle in the end. And I believe that is where I'm gonna call it for the day. Really hope you guys are enjoying this series. And if you do, be sure to leave a like if you want to see it continue, which it's going to continue anyway, but if you want to make sure you stay up to date on all things my content, then be sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and to quote Modest Pelican, as always, stay classy.